Okay, quick look through Thursday's end of day closing screens. They're a bit busier today, actually. So, before I rip into this, I had a while on the phone with Matt from ShareScope today. I've sent him over the all the things we worked on as a group, what were needed, not cosmetics, just actual features for the charting, especially. We got them all in a Word document. I basically screenshotted a lot of the share scope sort of settings and put them on there as well. And I sent that back over to him today, though he already had it anyway. And basically, Matt isn't a trader. He doesn't understand all this stuff, but he has to pass it on to the support and the people who actually make the program. And basically, what he's kind of basically it is a case of they've been really busy, obviously, with the rebranding and that, but ShareScope, they're not going to kick anyone off ShareScope, even though there's meant to be a time limit. There really isn't. But basically, what he's saying is he's sent them all out to multiple people, and he's going to try and push them again. And basically, he said, I said, as a group, we've spent a lot of time on this, and these are pretty basic things what will improve your software. I said, what I tried to get across to him that people are using Pro Real Time and other cheap charting packages along with the competitors for the fundamentals. And I said, if you want to snatch those people back, all you've got to have to get all the technical people is good charting, because if you've got good charting, well, they've got the good fundamental side of things, haven't they? ShareScope is the best on that. All they have to do is have some pretty good charting. And so I gave him the example. I brought up the Donchian channels, and literally all you can do is set one time frame and change the color, and that's about it, isn't it? And then I showed him ShareScope. He did a screen recording while I was doing it, and he said to me, he said, if I don't get anywhere with this, if it starts stalling, he goes, I might just tell you to start peppering them. So basically, the way they work, on the programming side, is that the more requests they get, and they can see what's used. They can see what's used in so if everyone's using Donchian channels, they can see that everyone's using Donchian channels. You know what I mean? In ShareScope as well, and SharePad, or basically legacy is ShareScope now, isn't it? The old ShareScope. So they have all the data, and it's a combination of the two. Basically, what will float to the top and get sorted. And I said, well, we did this as a group, so we haven't got every man and his dog peppering support. And basically, another thing is, sometimes I get new members. They ask for something what I do every day in ShareScope, and I don't want someone to come along, ShareScope, to build something what's just a crap version of what we actually need, is what I mean. So doing it as a group, if someone's going to approach ShareScope for something we do every day here, it's probably best to just run it past us all as well, in the members' help, and basically get everyone get on the same page. In a perfect world, we'll be able to let me just bring up, we'll be able to bring up a Dungeon channel where you can change the colour and the time frame for the upper, the lower, the fill, the mid, and in a perfect world we'd have two of these. So you'd have two lots of settings in one. And also, in a perfect world, where's the global? Where's the? I can't remember where. I don't know where we go for that. Global stop losses. Oh, down here. And in a perfect world, we'd be able to even have dungeon channels on the global stop loss as well. So that will give you. I said everyone who uses market levels, we don't just use one level. We're going to use two at least, and then we're going to use one for a stop loss as well. So if you're going to approach them with something we do here, it's probably better to just run it by us all first and all get on the same page and just bounce it off each other. What I've just covered there will cover everything. You know what I mean? It will keep everyone happy. Being able to add dungeon channels onto the global stop loss as well, stuff like that. So that would be the best way to approach them. If it's going to be a case of right, let's try and get them to sort these dungeon channels, bang, we all start sending the messages asking for the same thing basically. If you get the other thing, the other one is being able. I ran through that as well. Just being able to, I said, look, on ShareScope, you can put monthly moving averages on. You can have weekly bars, monthly bars, and they don't change. On SharePad, you'd have to have 3 charts with that setup. We've got all these things written down. The other one is the real basic. If you're drawing a line, you can set it so it snaps to the left high or low or close, whatever you set it at. So just a global snap to left, drag and drop, and you snap to left, drag and drop, and it just puts a horizontal line in, snap to the left. That's such a simple thing, but in SharePad, you've got to turn this on, turn it off again, drag it. It's just an absolute, there's 4 movements just to do one thing. So same again, if we're going to pepper them with requests for that, we want to get it right, So I've got to, anyone sort of interested in what we talk about there, I've got a Word document with everything we've talked about in there. Some of you guys are a lot better than me at wording these things. It might be that what I've written down is, I'm really dyslexic, so it might be a little bit hard to unpick what I've put there sometimes. But if anyone says yeah, it's a bit confusing how you put that, put it this way, it makes more sense. So that's the way we've got to come at it. Pointless jumping on them this month, but well, there's no harm in anyone sort of messaging and saying, come on, let's sort this out, let's sort that out. But hopefully we can just start. There's no harm in people requesting these things anyway. But if Matt just gets nowhere with them, I'll touch base with him again next month and basically say, is there any progress in any of these things? There's another one, the 6-month closing highs, when you set the filter. The filters will be something, I know James has mentioned them a few times. The filters in SharePad are really clunky. And, the thing where the end of day reverts to intraday as soon as the market opens, they know about that issue. I've told him again about it. He actually asked me about it again. One of his colleagues asked him before he came on the call. But what they don't want to do with SharePad is they don't want it to become as complicated as ShareScope was, legacy ShareScope. And I said, Well, what I'm showing you here was, share scope. We're dragging one from here, Dongchin channel from here, Dongchin channel from there, using the glow. We're using all these things. Just what you could just have in. You've already got the infrastructure there. All you just have to do is add a few more settings to it, and happy days. It's tidy. It does. You don't need any for a lot of this stuff. You don't need any share script. You know, and that's basically, it's not a big ask, is it? And so we'll see. We'll see. At least they haven't just thrown. I've basically said to them, look, that you know, without these things, I have to. I can't function. It's the best way, isn't it? I can't function until these things. And I said, there's no cosmetics in here. It's all stuff what I just need to function, and it's not a big ask. It's not, So we'll see. But the thing you've got with this is the people who make a lot of the requests. It's it's a lot of just more requests come from people who are new to the platform. So basically what happens is you've got a lot of novice investors making lots of noise, and it's always, you're always fighting against that. But those who are actually at the screens every day and actually use it as a tool, a tool to run a business, there's not as many of us. It's always going to be the few, what are trying to sort of get something. You're always fighting against a whole heap of novice investors what are saying, oh, if can we have can you do this with the MACD setting and all that sort of nonsense? You know what I mean? It's like, it gets lost. Basic tools get lost in the magic. And every man and his dogs watched a video on put a Donchi, puts an oscillator on here, and that's, you're always fighting against that. So the basic the basic sort of tools for the technician are not really high on the list. So with that in mind, I will just move straight on. We'll quickly have a look at the markets here. Be interesting to see what happens. We've already filled that dead space, that gap there on the S&P. We've just bumped into the gap on the Qs. To fill, it needs to go to the upper one. I'll just clear this lower one. Obviously, we know the Qs is weaker, so it's not. We've got the industrials new highs on the move today. Is that new all-time highs on the industrials? Let's go and have a look. Oh, close. Big double top on there. Everyone will shout. So, consolidation could be there. Time will tell. I'll just jump straight into these now. I've hit the wrong button now. I always do that, don't I? When I'm in a rush. So yeah, another day of my life gone on share scope and stuff. Cheers, Mike, for all that help. Cheers, everyone, actually. Right. Let's see what's gapped up today. No forward on anything today in there. No growth stocks in there. 6 month closing highs. So there's 72 today. I'll quickly have a look. Lots of investment trusts and a general mix. So I'll fly through these. these investment trusts. Yeah, Holmer, nice to see it click its heels and just off it goes again. Posted that to try and post a chart every time we've got one on the new highs, just to try and keep a bit of traffic going to the site. SRT continues there. We're new highs on the move on that one as well. Let's see, new highs continues. St. James. So keep it simple, stupid, as they say. We got this. That was the swing day. You wouldn't have got filled on my pullback. I know that because I didn't get filled. But if you'd have reset your order, you would have been able to get in. But yeah, threw a swing move today on that one as well. Just flying through these, and then I'll comment it through the GTRS as I always do. PAF new highs. Gold having a good move today. MTL's just been in a bit of a drift, hasn't it? It's the little bit of dead air in it before this they start working on these resources again. I wouldn't say that was a trail point. Before someone asked me, I wouldn't say it was a trail point. You know, obviously under the base was, but it's only a shallow pullback. But if it continues, happy days. That one we looked at last night, obviously, you know, was just a little bit thin, and it was a phantom close. It never closed there. You know, it's just that uncrossing trade. What's just a random close on it, and you know, it's actually thinner than this one. When we looked at this one first, we started looking at it. I mean, it first hit the screens here, didn't it? On the first swing point, but that one there actually. But it was actually thinner than this one. If you look at it, there's loads and loads of just where it just trade. You know, no trades. Everything's pretty thin at trading at the moment, isn't it? I was amazed how few orders went through on W7 yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Carnival's pretty much a swing move, I would say, now, getting on there. Right, into the swing points, just fly through here. Nothing jumping out on there tonight. $45 on here. Lots of investment trusts again. So kind of shows a little bit of inflow buy pressure on those. Yeah, Norcross is a sloth. I'll punch it in for anyone who likes it, obviously. XRN, XR. Moving on. I don't trade anything with aviation or whatever. Sometimes swing trade the large caps, but not for me. But yeah, keep it simple. We call that a base with supply, so it's got a couple of days of supply back here. Breakout first pullback. You can actually see it probably really orderly on a weekly. I mean, that's nice orderly action on a weekly, even though it's a thin trading stock. But yeah, dipped all the way back in through a swing point. That's what we call a swing kicker. A little higher low there before moving higher. And off it went on its journey, but super, super choppy. You know, stuff like that, they don't suit swing trading. So you've got to, you know, for me, I say, well, would I hold that long term in my account? Go, no, I don't like that thing in my account. I'll move on. TCAP, just turning up there. Little bull flag. I don't have a, I have swing lane or trend lane. I don't have cheeky bounce lane. No cheeky bounce lane. That's the common thing everyone says, isn't it? Oh, just getting in this one for a cheeky bounce, dead cat bounce. Usually when you look at the chart, it's just been absolutely axed. Cheeky bounce turns into a bloodbath. Yeah, HOC. So this one's been compounded on my account. Just a small winner. Okay winner. Was what it was. And yeah, it's throwing a big swing point today. I can throw it in again for you. Commodity related, repeat after me, is a pain in the bum. It always is. It's hard to argue with the, you know, with the precious metals doing well, but that's a pretty broken chart there for me. You know, it went into this big sort of drawn out pullback. You know, you could be looking at this day here, you know. I'd rather see it from a higher low, but still it's not an A grade setup, is it, when you've got a big band of supply above it? Some of them just go straight back to highs without any problems. More often than not, say that's the area we're in after that, you know, rollover. You see how it's bumping into this, all this supply here. It's like bumps into it, bumps into it, bumps into it, just gets up. It clears supply a bit further. It comes back in and then off it goes. It managed to get through the rest of the supply in a matter of a week. No supply after that. So, you know, dealing with this big band of supply here is, it's not A grade setup stuff, is it? So many stocks in the market in the swing up areas. You know, you got UK and US. US has got 5 times more opportunities in the swings as well. Trouble is, you have to have 5 hours more of the day to look after them. You spend looking at your phone. And it's for that reason I always trade everything on the same loose setups. I don't get lost in it. It's a popular thing. I need a bit more excitement, you know, especially for people who've got small accounts. They're looking for a bit more excitement. You know, I'm in the stage where I don't want to be looking at my phone to check my US positions. So I'm always going to trade the swings how I trade the swings. I know I don't have to look at my phone. Doesn't matter what happens in the day. You know, I don't need to look at my phone to, you know, because I trade those looser swings rather than sort of what you'll see on the Twitter, I suppose. The older you get, the less time you want looking at your phone when you sat on the couch. So that's that. I'll quickly look at the end of day. LTG. Oh, sorry, it wasn't KNM. Yeah, nothing there for me. And if I go down the GTRS, 1 second. Anyone's got anything they want to look at, just shout it out. While I just try and get my computer to unfreeze. There we go. So pay. I'll just jump on pay for you because this has thrown a swing point already, and it's I don't know why. What's coming up as a swing point there? Pay. It must. Why is that coming up as a swing point? Maybe it's just a range break. What's it's tagged it up wrong. Anyway, got the swing point there. Pretty liquid, you see, so we had the swing point on this day here basically for a buy around there for my style, but it's a deep pullback to the 200, what we call a dumpster dive off the 200 really. But I'll just punch it in again. I mean, it's next dividend. That was the earnings there. Had a bad reaction on the interim for some reason, but yeah, I see it. I haven't got any, but I do see it. Let's go a bit further down the list. So for the newbies here, when you see a 1-to-1 reward to risk, you know what the chart will look like. It would just be like a little turn up in like a bull flag. There won't be much to see. Or just choppy price action with a turn up, no reward to risk, like wide range bars. But when you get up into the, say, 3-to-1 reward to risk, you're more likely looking at a pullback. If you're looking at that in 100% bullish stock, you're going to start seeing the kind of ones like the ZMs and the eBays and the ones that are pulled in. They've got reward to risk, but the technicals are 100% secondary and primary. This is a combination of both. So if it's 100% and it's got pretty good reward to risk, you're going to be looking at that kind of cleaner pullback. And the lower you go on the list, you start losing one or the other. Primary or secondary trend. AIE. So we don't really have to go fishing so deep. You can see, it's just rolling over a bit into a correction bull. It's in a liquid one anyway. So, but you can see the reward to risk would be there. But on a day like, see this one here, this would be fully 100% bullish for a buy here with a target to about there. And, all primary and secondary trend would be 100% there. And those ones will always be higher on the GTRS. If they're lower on the GTRS, it's because they've got no growth. So basically, you could find one down here what's 100% bullish, but it's just got no growth. We'll see if we can find one. Here you go. Got a couple there. The SC. I don't even know what this is. We'll move into HRI. Illiquid and more small cap ones as well. But you can see, you know, it's 100% bullish because it's just had a punch higher, and we're looking at the first retrace, what's got reward to risk. So that's what I kind of mean by that. Obviously, you know, investment trusts here, choppy price action, not really swing stocks, but that's what I'm trying to get at there. So, you know, if I find I'm having to go deep sea fishing to find good setups, well, I'm probably looking for ideas rather than letting the ideas just say, look, I'm here. You know, the easy ones to spot, you know, like the eBays and the ZMs. And eBay wasn't the cleanest, was it? But straight to highs on a gap up, just drifted in. First swing point was there. And yeah, you know, it could roll over and die, as we know. But ZM was a better example. But, you can see it dip back in the next day as well, offering and not the cleanest pullback, but you know, technicals up there. So that's the way I come at it. I like to just let the leaders dictate. Okay, we've got no requests. I'll leave it there. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We got some work done this week. I got some work done, didn't I? Having a bit of a dip in my health the last couple of days. No cheeky bounce lane. Oh, I will get my mate to print some hats at some point. I mean, every time I chat with my mate, he's always too busy. Perfect. No cheeky bounce lane. Cheers all. Have a fantastic evening.